ask you what exactly is this your company is doing and what inspired you to start this particular business.
So we are Herttz Global Compliance Services Private Limited.
So can you help me understand what inspired you to start this particular business?
In India, the labor law compliance is a huge topic.
Huge.
It is huge. It is huge.
You said you started as an employee, and when did you start with this, and what was your first break? Good evening and welcome to Zoom with GS Kumar, another episode with an inspiring business owner. So this week we are meeting one Mr. Antony John, who's a director of a company called Herttz Global Compliance Services, which is into multiple consulting services, which we are going to get an introduction about the company and himself about in this particular interview. Let's welcome Mr. Ivan. Hello, Mr. Ivan.
Vanakkam, namaskar. Very good evening to GS Kumar ji and all the wonderful YouTube viewers of this amazing series. I would like to add value to this interview and looking forward to contribute. Yeah.
Thanks for joining. So firstly, I would like to ask you what exactly is this your company is doing and what inspired you to start this particular business?
Yes. So we are Herttz Global Compliance Services Private Limited. So we are primarily into labor law compliances, and I'm talking about all the statutory and regulatory compliances that every company, factory, or establishment has to adhere to the respective state government or the central government complete adherence.
Okay.
So that is first nature of our company. We are also into subsequent contract staffing, payroll enabled services, and talent acquisition as well as such. And we do labor law audits of factories, companies, shared services, fintech, and we complete the government licensing part in procuring the licenses required to run a business. Yes.
Okay. So usually staffing business means they will mostly concentrate on the recruitment part, which is perm staffing, and partially they will do contract staffing for their own business. But what I understand is you are covering the entire ecosystem, right? From recruitment, staffing, contract staffing, labor compliance requirement, which is required for a bigger organization, industrial organization, which is a mandatory process. So can you help me understand what inspired you to start this particular business?
Correct, Ji. So I am an MSW HR from Madras Christian College, and after that I worked in Abu Dhabi as a HR in Al Khazana Gender Holding Corporations. Then I had come back to India to work for Amar Prakash Group. Then of course I had worked with a stint with SEAL, and I had been consulting for Citibank as well as for UN Global Compact initiatives. What I found significant from other nations in our country is, in India, the labor law compliance is a huge topic.
Okay.
In US or other countries, it is simplified. But here, the labor law adherence is so huge that I found that if an employer is concentrating on complying licenses and registrations and renewals and monthly filing returns, that itself will occupy most of their time. Because that is quite extensive. So I wanted to give a solution to employers to outsource that work to me, monthly filing returns, and standing before the government officials and officers, handling queries, handling nitty-gritties. Just focus on your business and how to drive profit as such. So in HR competency mapping is competency mapping. So of course, many will be familiar with recruitment, talent acquisition. Then there is performance analysis system. Then there is welfare activities. But one which is cannot be non-compromised is government labor laws. And all the statutory means the mandatory. You cannot, without adhering to it, you cannot run a company. So, so that part of it is always on a business person. You see, if a person wants to start up, they have the idea, they have their customers, they want, they have a product, they have a service, but you cannot run it like that. You have the money, you have the car. It doesn't mean you can drive on the road. You have to get your driving license, you have to get your insurance, you have to get your registration. Even after all this, you have to wear your seat belts. And even after all this, you should not have a colored glasses, tinted glasses, or if you should not have, you should have fire extinguisher in your car, and as well as a pollution control board certificate. Just imagine driving a car, one car.
Right.
GS Kumar ji and the audience who are watching, I welcome you to the show once again. And imagine in your wallet, in your bureau, in your personal documents, you have an Aadhaar card, you have a voter ID card, you have a PAN card, you have whatnot. You have from bank passbook. When a child is born, from birth certificate. When you're dead, you have death certificate. If you're getting pension, you need a life certificate. So everything in India is a documentation. Understand that we are 1.4 plus touching 1.5 billion, and census is yet to come with data. So people, there are interlinking of documents for one person individual. Imagine if you're running a company. A company is made to run for whether profit or non-profit. It is an entity. It is an organization.
Correct.
So, like how our body is having eyes, nose, heart, liver functions, many things as a whole organ put together is called organism. A company requires to comply with EPF, ESI. If it is a company or a shop's an establishment. If it's a factory license. If you are having anything with a fire license required, pollution control board clearance is required. You need to segregate your waste accordingly. You need to pay. Central government is EPF and ESI. For the city, if you're in Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, you have to pay your professional tax, and you have to the state, you have to pay the labor welfare fund. And if you're having women employees, you have to compulsorily include a POSH, prevention of sexual harassment, filing returns, annual return has to be done, accident register, attendance, muster register. It is huge. It is huge.
So when the complete ecosystem is huge in the entire requirement of an organization.
Yes, the requirement of an organization is huge. So I've been part of the Prime Minister's draft committee and advising. I've been communicating to the Ministry of Labor and Employment and Ministry of HRD. So right now, the government of India has come with the 4 labor codes. So they have simplified all that thing into 4 labor codes.
Okay.
Code of wages, code of social security, code of industrial relations, and code of working conditions. So it is passed in 2019, and slowly, like the bill is coming. It's with central government 2020. We're not exactly sure, but I believe 2023 financial year we should be setting on the code, and that is to simplify. I'm coming to the initial thing what I said, to simplify the ease of doing business. Simple as that. Ease of doing business, so that entrepreneurs and those who are owners of the business, they can focus on clarity to run the business with their employees and their business service and nature and products, and focus on their profit margin, core business, and leave the documentation, licenses, and what are things run the business to us. So we are here to relieve the tension as such.
Okay, I mean, usually it's a tension for these kind of documentation, because a lot of things are very much vague. Maybe hope you will understand in a right way, because as an employee itself, if I'm reviewing my PF, ESI components or form filling and all that, it's a huge headache for me. But if an organization, it's 100 times of aspects which they have to follow as a documentation process. So which you are making the process very much easier, which is a best part of your business. So in your, I mean, you said you started as an employee, and when did you started this, and what was your first breakthrough in the entire business journey?
Yes, so Herttz Global Compliance Services is a 44-year-old established organization and consulting.
Okay.
So we have derived much knowledge from Meenam Consulting and Raghavi Associate Services, which are like sister concerns, and we formed Herttz Global thing. So my uncle was Henry Richard. He was the ROC of India, Register of Companies. So and my partner is Mr. Jay Suresh. He's a labor law advocate. So he was a son of EPF ex-commissioner. So we both come from a strong bureaucratic families.
Okay. Okay.
So we have had our core family members working for the government of India at central government deputation across various cities: Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and Delhi. And from 1977, when everything was offline, we have to manually fill all the records with blue ink pen as such, like, right?
My God.
So it is 70%. I would say it has come to like online, but still you need that licensing power. You need to go to the government office, whom to meet, what to speak, what not to speak, what to present with clarity. So since we come with a strong bureaucratic background, we know how to what hours to visit, how to seek an appointment, how to talk to the government official, how to bring clarity, what are the documents necessary to submit, and how the document should be submitted, what are the updates. Simple thing is that if you have a license, for example, say simple as a pollution control, like consent to operate, consent to establish, or a fire license, or shop establishment license, factory license. Before the expiry of license, people run to the government office only when the expiry has happened, or 1 or 2 days before the license is valid. We should start the procedure minimum 4 months before the license expires.
It's getting expired.
Simple pilot, yeah. So we have to carry the original valid license, submit. Then we have to meet the inspector of factories or the labor department, and apply with the due forms and procedure, pay the government fee only, and represent and do a diligent follow-up. Diligent follow-up. Yes. Nowadays, the government, EPF, ESI, PT, they are responding accordingly to the emails. Each chief minister is having a labor department under them. Directly, they will monitor. And the number one factor in our India right now is unemployment.
Correct.
So how to eradicate unemployment is create more companies, create more services, products, and for one service, one product, we have quite a number of choice in our company, right? So for more entrepreneurs to come, if the more entrepreneurs stand in that headline only, we'll have more employees adding up. When they are able to focus on the business and leave the documentation part to us, the licenses to run the business, the monthly filing returns, like we can handle that smoothly, such like. So that is where we come in, like, yeah.
Wonderful. Since you're an expert in this field of labor compliance, I think you will be the right person to answer, which you have indicated earlier also on this 4 labor codes. So what is your perspective, and how is it affecting to our organization as a whole, and as an individual, what is it effects or benefits where you see from your perspective?
Yeah, wonderful question. So much has been debated, presented. Many articles, many television channels have been covering the labor code. Labor code is a simplification.
Okay.
See, we are from the British time. Okay, so we Factories Act 1948, Industrial Relations, Indian Disputes Act is there. Like all from 1940s, we have Bonus Act 1960. Like it keeps going on like that. So the latest one was POSH 2013. So from pre-independence Workmen Compensation Act, many things are like pre-colonial days with a colonial hangover, and right now with the modern transference from the industrial to IT age, and now to data management it comes. It is a simplification of a title. So like for example, EPF, ESI, like they are known as Social Security, but it is coming under code of Social Security. EPF, ESI, and they come under that factor. So all the salary, equal employment opportunity, or payment of bonus, payment of wages, salary calculation, all comes in this code of wages. Simple as that. All right. So factories, industrial relation covers, and working conditions, it comes for all the establishments. What I see a significant thing is the government is trying to ease the way of doing the business. Into bringing the code and simplifying with the code you have to follow, because every company right now, we have GST, right? Goods and service tax. Every company also has a number called LIN number. It is called LIN. It is called labor identity number. In that labor identity number, like your EPF number is covered to the LIN, ESI is covered to the LIN, your professional tax is covered to the LIN, labor welfare fund is covered to the LIN, so on and so forth. Everything comes under the LIN number. So the labor department monitors that you are doing a fair justice to the employees and employer as well.
Okay.
Yeah. The major factor in this code of wages only, the main implications are there, where they have made that 50% of basic. In this country there are 35 lakh HRs. 35 lakh HRs. And it has come to a point like where anyone who can speak fluent English can become a HR. Okay, but a HR is a professional who is purpose driven with values. He's actually a bridge between employer and employees. He's not a pro-employee or a pro-employer, right?
Correct.
So most of them, they play around with the salaries, like basic will be a bit less. Then they will have city compensatory allowance, they have medical allowance, they'll have further generations. Finance and HR, they do this thing. The government has laid on a norm, 50% of your salary should be basic. Define that.
Okay.
So obviously, what are the components that are many calculations in the statutory compliance, like EPF, ESI, gratuity, bonus, all calculated from the basic plus DA, they say, DNS allowance. So substantially, the employees EPF, there's a bracket they calculate for EPF, and some companies like IT, to save tax, they complete 12% of the basic. Employee deduct, equal percentage employer will contribute. So the contribution of the employer becomes more, and the employee becomes more. And while the time of exiting, 4 years and 240 days, the gratuity becomes higher. Bonus also under those who are getting under 21,000 salary, like they're eligible for bonus. So their basic plus D also increases. Ultimately, your take home is going to get reduced a bit.
Okay.
But overall saving is going to be high.
It's going to be a long-term benefit for an employee.
Long-term benefit, yes, because the habit of Indians is like having worked in 5 different countries and 3 continents. Abroad, they save, and what is left is spent mostly. Here, the nature is what is left out of spending is hardly even saved.
Correct.
So finally, EPF has helped many people go for further studies, build their home, medical emergencies, and helped in even getting their sons and daughter married. Like EPF, the core lump sum amount.
That's a pattern of thinking in an Indian mentality, where we save a lot of money for building a house or marriage or expenses on the education. All that. That's the usual pattern. Do you think that's been simplified now from the earlier stage, or how do you feel?
Since most of us are doing it. We are putting insurance. We are putting life insurance. We are, we are investing in mutual fund. Some people even voluntarily do voluntary provident fund. So that is a very less population as such. What has happened is the inflation is very high right now. Even if you want to save, you're not able to cultivate the habit. So the government is doing something for your benefit in the future.
Right.
Like how you put money in the passbook, your EPF also, you have a savings
getting accumulated.
Accumulated, and there's no tax on it. And of course, while withdrawing, there are some elements that I'll discuss the larger topic. But you have a very good 8.5%, which does not even come for a normal FD.
Okay.
It is better than most of the mutual funds, and EPFO organization, as an organization, central government is the profit-making entity. Right now, they're coming into equity debts. They're investing in a lot of profit-making enterprise. They have surplus amount of 3,000 plus crores. Like more than that, I feel. So they're reinvesting, and they're giving good interest. And of course, it is a good social security. ESI, I have seen government awarding 29 lakhs for a person. Like, is ESI applicable for those who are getting 21,000 rupees and below salary? They are like where the next meal comes from. If they take 1 day leave it is going to matter. Their take home is going to hold.
Reduce.
So imagine someone who's going to get a liver transplant. In the last 8 months, I've seen a case which I've handled. The government has funded 29 lakhs worth. And ESA hospitals are quite remarkably some of the best. They do free heart surgeries, transplantations, and emergency treatment.
Oh, really?
And yeah, they're good. They are some of the best doctors who practice privately. They have very good, morning hours. They do work in ESI, so ESI is worthwhile.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. I think it's a profound knowledge which you are giving to the people who are watching, because many people may not know. They stop at a level where, okay, I'm paying my EPF and PF, ESI and all that. The deduction is going on. Later, after 5 years or 10 years, I'll get the benefit out of it. That's the surface level knowledge. As an employee, I will be feeling about it. But you have given a very profound knowledge about how even the hospitals will function and how the benefit can be used by the potential employee.
Yes,
makes sense. Now, see, even though organizations spending on PF, ESI, gratuity, and all that, the recent damage which is getting caused is moonlighting, right? So, so what exactly is your take? Because even in yesterday's news, some ministers from Bangalore has highlighted this particular element as a major damage causing aspect to an organization, which needs to be strictly avoided, and a very harsh message has been passed on. So when after COVID, it is becoming a habit for everyone, because they are not visible to the employers during the work from home option. So as a HR consultant, labor compliance consultant, what is your take on this?
That is the happening topic right now, and I thank you for asking that, Kumarji. So the minister has categorically stated that those who are moonlighting can exit from the state of Karnataka. So yes, that is the minister's view, and honorable minister has quoted that. And let me share with you an open thing. If in the earlier part of the 19th century there was a very nice German clerk, if he hadn't moonlighted while doing his clerical job, we wouldn't have had Albert Einstein. We wouldn't have had a theory of relativity.
Okay.
Right. So just imagine that as a factor. So creativity, if you are in invention, if you are employee who cannot hold back your contribution skills, I mean, there are ways of working around it. Most of the employee agreement, the work contracts, appointment letters, offer letters, we sign with our eyes closed on the day one HR gives you. So you sign it, and you just and they'll also make you sign on the very same day. How many of you read it?
Yes.
We don't know.
Yes.
So it is clearly mentioned that if you're working for one organization, you will not work for another entity. So if you're not agreeing to that, you have to ensure there itself you have to claim that. But how many of them do that? Most won't do that on the first day of joining, because getting a job itself is a big thing. And in India, job means just obey boss.
Yes.
Moonlighting is a thing where, because of the ambitions of people right now.
True.
People do not want to go for 4K TV right now. They want to go for OLED TV. I want to go for OLED LG. I want to go for Sony Bravia. I don't want to even go for QLED. So how many hours you can work in a week? 48 hours is the possible thing, but time factor is horizontal and vertical. A person may live 70 years. All right. How many days have they really lived in that 70 days?
Question mark.
That's what matters. That is a vertical density. I worship the Lord Jesus Christ. He's lived only for 33.5 years. Vertically, he has lived only this much, but even after 2000 years, we talk to him, we worship him. All right. So if you see Alexander the Great, he was able to conquer such a vast empire. He died in his 30s. So the vertical time is what you use. Some people, there's a Pepet principle, French philosophy. 20% of what you do in everyday activity only gives you results. Rest, balance, 80/10 is mandatory thing, like sleeping, taking bath, eating, and other human biological things. Even contemplating, dreaming, and all. What action you take, 20% only counts results. So some people are able to give the 20% to organized research. See, if Infosys become very strong, they have fired more than 300 plus employees. Wipro has been strict. TCS have been a bit liberal, but they'll always take action. See, if you're working for Visa and you are moonlighting with MasterCard, definitely they won't like it.
Correct.
If you're working for Infosys and you do moonlighting with Wipro, definitely that is a non-integrity issue.
Yes.
Because there is you have signed a data confidentiality non-disclosure agreement is one of the core things. So in that way, moonlighting for a competitor is wrong. But I personally feel if you're able to do for other companies additional services like like consulting basis,
right,
then you can make yourself a fixed term contract or work as a consultant, work on like contract basis,
right,
and work for a project or a period, work as like for time being or for the completion of project. And if you're into especially IT coding and products, of course, if you're working in a manual environment like a factory, or you're a driver for Ola, you cannot be a driver for Uber at the same time, or a Rapido. You cannot drive the bike and the car at the same time. That you can't do. So integrity wise, you have to watch out that data theft does not happen. Every HR is responsible to maintain that. At the same time, laws have to be written so that employees, like creativity.
Right.
If they want to contribute something to the world, that does not get stopped out. Like something like medicines. If Dr. Reddy is able to do something, let it be shared with Biocon, let it be shared with Apex Laboratories. Like if remdesivir, if we have only one company making it, we have multiple companies making it can reach. Diabetes is a huge problem. So diabetic medicine, if the metformin kind of medicine, different companies make it. So it should be shared as such. Like so, such scientific inventions those can be done. Like at the same time, keeping that it does not get diluted. Like.
Right. So your call is something, okay, going to a competitor is a strictly punishable offense where we cannot work on the data breach and all that, but going as a consultant or a on-call basis or something like a training for a different organization, completely mutually exclusive.
I will tell you where data, where moonlighting should be encouraged.
Okay.
Moonlighting should be encouraged in academic circles.
Fantastic.
Like for example, professors, they are teaching stuff. Teaching stuff. A professor from XIME can go to IIM and they can present a journal there. They can take a guest lecture with XI. They can work in XIME. They take a guest lecture with private engineering colleges.
Right.
And they can go to other management schools. And like medical doctors
practicing in different hospitals.
You cannot define that as moonlighting as such.
Correct.
So
I mean, exactly,
that encourages
sense.
more value, more resources. Like
it's more subjective rather than generalizing things that moonlighting has to be avoided. It depends on the industry also, as you rightly pointed out, on the doctors and professors. It is absolutely making sense, and there is nothing wrong. They are not giving any particular data for one college to another college. They are just teaching and sharing the knowledge with various set of people.
When they go to another institution, if they go to VIT, if they go to then they go to SRM or they go to IIT, and they go to in Punjab they go to lovely professional university, then Manipal University. They interact with other professors and other academicians, other students, the kind of questions they raise and everything, and they gather and they come back to their original college and provide more delivery.
True.
Another thing is like in India, having studied the labor law, in India there is no employee patent registry. If you're an inventor or discoverer, you invented a system or procedure, you can individually file it, or a company can file it. If an employee in one company, say Sony, or even say any Indian company, like if you say Philips, Videocon, or Butterfly, Preeti, like Pigeon, whatever you take, manufacturing or IT, they bring some innovation to it, right? It'll always go to the company.
Oh, okay.
The individual employee cannot claim there is no Indian patent, intellectual property. There is no section or law that avails for employee getting the recognition.
Oh,
Whereas in Japan, if in Hitachi or in Kobelco or in Sony, if an employee, any employee for the sake, if he does a patented technology, he's patented it, he gets some royalty.
Oh, okay.
It not necessarily be the R&D department or from the scientist approach or from the technology goes. It can even be a person who's working the logistics. Some people who are handling team leaders, who are handling day to day their team, without even learning HR from the books and schools and writing exams, like going to seminars, they do better HR activities than most of the actual HRs.
Correct.
And some finance people, they understand HR functions related. Some HRs are very good at operations also. So it's an interdynamic thing.
Correct.
I'm basically a HR person, but I'm very good at marketing and business development, and I do the business development for my company as such. Like now we have 300 plus companies. We focus on them. We deliver monthly filing because my interest varied after I hit 30 plus years right now. Right now I'm 37. But we have built the clients, and my partner also does the same thing. And we don't have a separate marketing team in our company because every day we get queries. We use digital platforms. With the kind of we have developed a labor law calendar, which I'll present to you shortly, which has the month-wise and filing returns. I'll just show you once.
Yeah.
This is like a yearly calendar.
Okay.
That we HGC have developed. So that's us winning awards, and we are the FORBES recognized in Statutory Compliance, Contract Staffing, Payroll. This is the calendar, normal calendar, as you can see,
right.
dates. But here, if you see, each state-wise and
compliance record. Okay.
And month-wise.
Okay.
Which date by 15th you have to do the following, by 31st you have to do the following, So we have given a transparent knowledge of what to do.
Okay.
Before you know what to do in the labor law compliance, you have to know what actually you should be doing within the deadline. So this
it'll act as a reminder every day when they are watching the calendar.
Yes, every day, every month, so that's a compliance calendar is like you have to get it compliant. So this data, we have put this data across each state. I'm talking all the states, including Northeast states, all the place, there is something called professional tax, right?
Right.
There are certain states which cover professional tax, which you don't need to pay the professional tax. So when the HR is going from another state, what is applicable in the particular state government, they have to adhere. Then go to the central government thing, giving equal weightage. So this kind of data transparency comes with much traveling, much knowledge gathering, much understanding in the field of what the companies are facing actually on the ground. And filing the returns is altogether a different cup of tea.
Process altogether. Yeah, got
altogether.
it. Now I'm going to a different dimension. One side it is a moonlighting, and one side we see great resignations also. So how does it work, and why people are taking this very bold decision of going for a resignation? Why is it happening?
Yes, personally I came across COVID because when we went to visit the Kia factory, Kia in Anantapur. So Kia Motor, South Korean organization. So there the South Korean, one of the chief management person, he was asking me a lot of things regarding COVID. And this is the first time when I went to the factory, I saw them taking a hand sanitizer and measuring temperature and asking us to wear masks and everything. That is, I'm talking the early September 2019, before it hit heavily, lockdowns and not happened.
Okay.
So they are going to ask how the possibilities of working from home and everything.
Before 3 months, 4 months
before it itself it happened.
Oh, okay.
Because they had some confidential data coming in from China through their their mainland with Korea is connected. But the government did what best it could do. But see, ultimately, when push comes to shove, first is your luxury. Then, for example, then your comfort, then your food, shelter, and clothing. Is it a career? Then it becomes like a job. Then it's a way of making money. Then finally, like I am alive.
That's itself sufficient.
In a football game, you keep running here and there, here and there, here and there. But if you run for the entire 90 minutes without scoring a goal, it is useless.
Yes.
If you just stand, like, or just like jog and just meditate and know how to hit that goal and call your team, you pass me here, I will head it inside. From the corner, you pass me. Make a strategy.
There is a strategy involved. Exactly.
Some people for great resignation happen because it's a great pause. It's a great re-engineering. Like, am I doing all this for what?
Okay. Realization, huge realization.
Of course, see, I lost my mom due to cardiac, failure. In see, that's my mom. So 2020 August, second I lost a thing. So at that point of time, was it my career? I was still doing my job. It's like a muscle memory.
Okay.
But things come to a certain thing. Then immediately within 100 days or something, my father also passed due to COVID. Yeah. So I had to prioritize my family. Gather my senses back. I know take my health comes first. Curb my travel things. Take more video conferences. And bring health as a priority. For many people, the immediate family member would have been affected. Like
right.
How I went through personally. So imagine those who are making into a high stress job where the key performance indicators and key areas are huge. They work overtime. They work from home means spilling over to the evening hours. You don't have a proper work-life balance. The human mind can take it only so much.
Yes.
There is a lot of intellectual aspect is there. The emotional can handle so much. So certain people took a point like, I want to take a strategic break.
Okay.
It's like watching a great movie, but inside that, that you're everybody's their own hero in their own life, right? Even for the villain. So even when they're being defeated, they will take a break.
Oh, okay.
Also, it comes with the exhaustion. Also, it comes with the non going to office. Like the practice when it's not there. Essential service only working. Some of them took 3 months, 4 months, and they resigned and they came back. Some of them explored other organizations. Some of them took more time to adapt technology. Then came right now we have something called quiet quitting.
Correct.
It means I am getting paid like 1 lakh per month. I will only work what it takes for that, not more, not less.
Okay.
It's like, boss, you asked me to make dosa. You have given one dosa 70 rupees. I will make a value of dosa 70 rupees only.
That's
if you give me 10 rupees for one dosa, like on the platform, I will give you this much of dosa and that much of chutney only. Same thing comes with coding. Same thing comes with the driver. Same thing comes with the factory. Okay, it's like in factory environment from World War before one itself, it came in the industrial age. Slow work. Then they have something called tools down. See, in 1 hour, if 10 screws can be manufactured, they'll manufacture 4.
Oh, okay.
So right now, organizations India is doing on the corporate side well. Okay, even Indian Airlines and Air India, Air Asia, and the Vistara, they've been taken over by the Tatas, and old aircrafts are being put together, and we have a new airline opening up like Akasha Air, right? So like if you see that new businesses are opening up, employees are making profit, otherwise they won't be running the business. They are making the profit. Employees are seeking their share of incentive, their share of in many things like bonus. They will only say 8.33, like basic plus DA. But those who are getting below 21,000, that they're eligible. They up to 20% can be given in the bonus. So employees are asking for fair share. This comes with more awareness. Today, an article from US has come. Those who have joined union is again picking up in US. Those who have joined without even a proper education in unions are getting more paid than those who are not in the union system. This is because of even educated people are entering into the blue collar sectors. and highly aware people are interacting. Before you can talk to your company circles, next company, your neighbors. Now with social media, with LinkedIn discussions, people can talk to anybody across the world.
Right. True.
An
They're not
idea,
blindfolded. Correct. Right.
an idea is very powerful. It does not die. And quiet quitting has come right now. So the role of the HR and the management and the business leaderships and it has to like properly incentivize employees and not only monetary wise. Ensure, in the factory they say like ensure a crash. I say even if there are like the 30 people working, there are like 10 ladies. Introduce a crash. Keep a teacher. Don't wait for the government to tell you that appoint a doctor. Say, give them good health benefits. Give them the petrol cost is 100 plus rupees. Give them a good petrol allowance. Don't calculate per kilometer. If see, trust a human being. Okay, trust a human being. Once you trust a human being, and 90% will value. Indians are very good at paying loans. We have values. We have ethics. We never default much and telling.
Correct.
So we have good souls. Put a trust in a human being in the core values, and they will give you back.
Wonderful.